So this video spoils OMORI a lot, so if you haven't played that game, now's the best time to play it or maybe watch a gameplay. And also with it comes the content warnings, so things like anxiety, depression and suicide are going to be discussed, and also there's flashing imagery, so viewer discretion is advised. I don't remember exactly when I first discovered OMORI. For as long as I could remember, the colourful, chaotic animation of the 2014 trailer has been ingrained into my head. The only proof I have of me stumbling across the game years ago is a single comment on the trailer with the most apt representation of my attempts of humour. What I do remember is when I first discovered its release, which was on a livestream of Nito Soji, game developer of Post-Day, another game about a hikikomori. It took a while before something clicked in my head as I searched for the game. OMORI, I think for the better part of a whole decade by now, has been defined by its development. How a group of concept Tumblr posts grew into the idea for a graphic novel. How that graphic novel got scrapped to develop a full-fledged video game. The trailers, the Kickstarter campaign, the demo, the support it got at its peak, the skepticism that came when everything went silent, and the revived excitement as the release date was finally announced. After years and years of being in the works, OMORI was finally released December 25th of 2020. And all I can say is that it feels amazing to be able to play this game following such a long development phase. So after years of waiting, we can finally say, okay, wait, what is OMORI? OMORI is a game about a boy named OMORI. I hope that doesn't surprise you. The most simple way I can describe it is as follows. You play OMORI, a literally black and white character, and also join your childhood friends Cal, Aubrey and Hiro, as you explore a bunch of different regions in a childlike, almost fever dreamish world. The main cast is completed by Mari, OMORI's older sister who acts basically as a save point, and Basil, OMORI's best friend who we have to find once he goes missing. That's maybe the most I can give without spoilers. Unlike most RPG Maker games, OMORI is a beast of a game in terms of length, and so it's hard to talk about most of the game without spoiling it in any capacity. So here's a big deal in case you haven't played or watched the game yet. Mari's dead. 4 years ago your friends came to your house on the night of a piano recital, only to find your sister's dead body hanging from a tree in your backyard. Your real name is Sunny, and ever since that day, you've isolated yourself from everyone else, becoming a shut-in, a hikikomori. The game revolves around how you spend your last 3 days before moving away from your home in faraway town. Depending on what you choose, you either live your life as OMORI, exploring the vast expanding world of your headspace, or as Sunny, meeting up with your same group of friends, now older, and discovering more about how things have changed, while uncovering the whole truth behind that tragic night. The story behind OMORI deals with a ton of heavy subjects, but it manages to navigate those topics quite well. It does a neat job at portraying the struggle of all of its main characters as they try their best to cope with loss. If I could try to boil its long narrative down to one word, it would have to be acceptance. Accepting the past and accepting everything that happened following it. My only gripe with the story is, at the same time, what I think is an advantage of it, which is its duration. OMOCAT and the team definitely took the time to flesh out the two worlds of the story, and it shows, but to the detriment of some headspace sequences feeling a little bit too dragged out. Though not to worry, since that is made up for by OMORI is a story-based game, but that also means that it needs more than just a good tale to tell. Luckily, it delivers on these fronts. To start with, the gameplay mechanics are rather neat. I'll be honest, I'm no hardcore gamer, so unfortunately I'm not that well versed in your typical RPG mechanics, but judging from other reviews, the biggest feature everyone takes note of is the emotions system. And yeah, I can see why. It's fun to experiment around with strategies when each emotion has both a type advantage and their own individual status effects, not to mention stacking them. But where OMORI shines has to be its art and music. OMORI's art comes in 3 main styles. There's the 3D realistic stuff that comes in sparingly but manages to get its point across during the scares. There's the pixel art, which really solidifies the atmospheres of each of the environments with its bright and bold colours. And then there's the hand-drawn art. The cutscenes, the animations, even down to the little squares in the dialogue boxes. The artwork was purposely traced over the original digital art, which just adds so much to the dreamy quality of it all. The sheer effort taken to draw and scan in every little detail deserves praise in itself. And finally, the music spans across so many genres while managing to keep itself cohesive. Part of that is really due to the leitmotifs. A few specific melodies echo throughout most of the OST, and you can't help but have them stuck in your head after a while. That helps a ton to connect the soundtrack when it's half filled with bangers and half filled with tunes that make you lie in your bed or cry or something. It's a perfect complement to a story immersed in both fantasy and emotion. And honestly, with that, that's all I have to say about the game. It's a beautiful game with a touching story, and the game mechanics, art, and music to back it up. So I like OMORI. What else is there? I feel like part of people's opinions on every piece of work is also about who likes that piece of work. And it's a bit of a reason why I didn't want to immediately make some sort of video or review about OMORI, because I wanted to see how the fans would turn out. And I have to say, after a whole year of dabbling in OMORI fan content, I don't mind it. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. It always feels like there's so much people worry about toxic fandoms, and I get that. But at the same time, I don't think OMORI's fandom comes that close to it. I don't really know what that reflects on more, the fandom or just me not being 100% invested in the OMORI fandom the entire time. But as far as I can tell, I enjoy the things I see. There's a wide variety of amazing talented fan artists, some cool comic dubs, a few works of fanfiction I find neat, and of course the disgusting amount of memes that are created. Also, most of the times I've looked at theories in other games, it involves a decent bit of speculation behind, like if there's a darker hidden side to a character, or if something in the game is fake, or if some character is another character. But for OMORI, the story is kind of over, so most of the discussions around the game's content are more like analyses in the game, which honestly, I kind of like. It's like treating this game as a book to be read, highlighted, and discussed. Most of my time with the fandom is really just in the OMORI Discord server, which is home to the most chaotic and somehow welcoming bunch of people I've talked to online. It's a mix of chatting at any and all times of the day, taking part in the most cursed Gartic phone rounds, tuning into the mini radio program, and so on and so forth. I don't know if many other people feel this way about a fandom, or fan base, or community, or whatever, but that's just how I felt about what I've come across, and if not for these people I've met, or these works I've consumed, then OMORI might not have stayed in my mind for a long time. It's really how OMORI has still stayed in my mind for almost an entire year by now. So that's it, I guess. It's a wild ride following this game and the community around it. Something about seeing such a community form around what's already an emotional and fun game just sets in stone that I don't think I'll ever forget about it. And I guess all I can say is, who would have known? After all, it just began 10 years ago with a boy named